been talking a lot about the IS-3, and for good reason, because we went to the MVTF tank museum and had a chat with the Chieftain, Wargaming's very own Chieftain, about that very tank. Let's take a look at that segment.
Hi, I'm Clutch, and welcome to the garage. Today in the garage, we're going to take a look at the Josef Stalin III.
IS-3 is one of those tanks that I think is a little bit overrated. Its greatest accomplishment was scaring the living bejesus out of the Western powers. So much that they actually created the Conqueror and M103 tanks specifically to destroy this. On the plus side though, this is a scary vehicle.
Let's go ahead and check out the tracks.
Look how wide the tracks are. And this is to allow the heavier weight of the tank to be spread out over a greater surface area. Reduces ground pressure, means it's less likely to sink in mud or soft ground.
Better traction.
Correct, better flotation more specifically.
Okay.
It's powered by 520 horsepower diesel, 12-cylinder. What people don't realize is that as they look at IS-3, they see a sloped outer armor. This is just thin sheet metal. The actual armor itself is in here and is much more steeply sloped. So when an incoming round comes in, firstly, it hits this, which then hits the main armor plate. IS-3 is well protected no matter what angle you shoot at it from. Now, although this is very good defense, inside it causes great comfort problems. You have 122mm rounds. Yes, they make a huge bang, they also take up a lot of room in here. There's always a penalty to your efficiency versus your protection. So shall we say hard stats versus soft stats. So if you want to put it this way, this is a hard stat tank.
Chieftain, what can you tell us about the engine?
They had the engine and transmission and differential all at the same end of the tank. This made a very compact design and at least alleviated some of the crew space issues. The sloped armor is still completely visible at the rear of the tank where nobody is supposed to be shooting at it to begin with.
That's one of the reasons why the Western leaders kind of peaked their eyebrows to see the amount of angles that were on this tank compared to the Western counterparts.
Yeah, if they were, God forbid, going up against the Red Army, they had to find a way of killing this.
One of the things I'm going to notice is this huge gun.
First thing to note, it is big, 122mm. This thing has a useful high explosive round, because remember, the job of a tank isn't just to kill other tanks, it's to kill everything.
Yeah.
And so the bigger the HE round, the more stuff you're going to kill. Now the downside with such a big gun is that you only have room for 28 rounds.
We see a lot of professional esports teams choose the IS-3 in a number of different battles. How does the IS-3 work in the game?
Well, as you say, it is pretty much the core of any team that you'll find, mainly because of the gun, but also because the armor values mean this is very survivable. Because of the pike nose, IS-3 is usually most effective if you're aiming directly at the target, because if you try to angle a little bit, you've just made part of your front hull more vulnerable. In some maps, this is far less effective because the low turret roof means that you cannot depress the gun very far. So if you're on a more mountainous or at least hilly map, you may very well find people shelving the IS-3 in favor of something like maybe the T-32.
The IS-3 is used by the pros continually in esports matches. It may not be the roomiest tank, but she's got it where it counts. We'll see you guys next time in the garage, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Lock and load, comrades!
Thanks a lot, Clutch, and thank you to the Chieftain for showing us around the IS-3. Awesome tank. I know Andre was real happy to see that piece.
I was. It was really cool, but I highly doubt that Clutch can actually fit into that because he is a very big, handsome, and brawny man.
Yeah, it actually really blew me away when I saw Clutch and the Chieftain standing next to it. That tank's big.
Yes.
It's a big tank.
It is.
Yeah. And you know, when your perspective is always based on the size of other tanks, you know, you don't realize just how huge that IS-3 actually is.
But at the same time, he was talking about how little space you actually have because of that 122mm. It takes up a lot of space just to get in there. So when you're featuring, you know, a mid-sized level, or what is it, 4 people? 4 people that man that thing?
Yep, 4 people.
It can get cozy, guys. It can get very cozy.
And very hot in a tank. You are in a hot metal box with a big old engine, and you're in a Russian tank, and they don't care all that much about comfort. There's no teapot there like British tanks, and the gold consumable is only extra rations. They don't get tea and pudding.
They get coffee.
No coffee. Those are the French get coffee. When you're Russian, you get more food, more bread, more vodka.
Fair enough.